Alrighty, I'm just down here at George's Gourmet Meats in Cleveland. Georgie's going to break down a lamb shoulder for me. He doesn't know it yet. I'm going to spring this on him, but let's go and see him. Good morning, guys. Dos here from Barbecue Mafia. I am here with George from George's Gourmet Meats in Cleveland. Today, Georgie is going to show us how to break down this beautiful bit of Aussie lamb into a lamb shoulder. I cannot wait for this. Let's go. Alrighty, so Georgie, we've got the end product here. That's sitting in your cabinet out the front here. But we want to get this, obviously, to this, so you can sell that. I'm actually going to smoke one of these. The shoulder you break down, I'm going to actually take home and smoke. So I want to show everyone the process of butcher to the actual process of smoking. So you come into your local butcher, you ask for a lamb shoulder. It doesn't magically appear out of nowhere, does it? So show us what you do with these, mate, with the carcass, and run everyone through it.
So this is just beautiful Tassie lamb. This is just the shoulder section, so I've already broken the rest of the lamb off it. So starting off, basically it's still in the pair, so that's both sides of the shoulder, obviously there. Neck's already taken off because it's winter time, so we've already sold that for all of the lovely stews and things. So basically you want to start marking down over there, just down the ends of the spine. Both sides are there.
And obviously a sharp knife, mate, sharp boning knife you're using at the moment.
Makes a fair bit of difference, yeah. I've been getting actually Adrian from Brisbane Knife Sharpening has been coming out lately, and he's doing our knives as well as the customers' knives, which is nice.
One of the legends of Aussie barbecue, Adrian.
Yes, the very best. All right, so then basically what you're doing here, this is basically the brisket. So you're Frenching off that brisket bone.
Oh, lamb brisket, that sounds good.
Yeah,
I love that.
If only they were bigger, it'd be beautiful. So following down along, that's your rib bone, so you're just coming hard along there.
And mate, I know obviously lamb is a good winter cut. What do you like? Obviously you like smoke, you're a smoker yourself, but what's your favourite cut of lamb to smoke or to cook at home?
I do like a fair few shanks, just because they're quick and easy.
Yep.
Bone-in shoulders are awesome though, you can't really beat the flavour.
I'm the
just
same.
A nice slow roast. Even sometimes if I can't be bothered lighting the smoker up, just chuck it in the oven for 4 hours and she's beauty. So.
I'm a massive fan of the lamb shoulder. We make, anywhere from just lamb, shoulder pull for our barbecue platters or just on a plate to our Yiros or a souvlaki, you know what I mean? With even a nice bit of garlic sauce.
Yeah, even like just your normal lamb barbie chops, same cut, so exactly the same thing. That's why you get that beautiful flavour out of it.
Yep.
So once you get down to there, so you got all those ribs cleaned off, you're basically just coming back in here and just going around that little neck bone. So that is just wiggle your knife a little bit, gets in and out of those little grooves. Freeze that up.
Oh wow, they come away pretty easily, mate. You make that look bloody easy.
It's like, I've done it a couple of times now. So there's this little paddywhack here, which is basically just like a little tendon kind of a deal that holds that muscle onto the bone. No matter what you do, that is never going to come good, so that just goes away. Sometimes there's like a fair bit of fat on this little brisket bit, so that just needs to come off as well. Or just take that whole bit, that becomes trim, because it's sort of nice and it's fairly small, so you're not really going to want to cook it too much.
No.
Just a bit of cleaning up in there. And in that bit, there's just a bit of fat around here, which is where the neck joins on.
Yep.
So that comes
starting
off.
to take shape now. You can sort of,
And then in here, there's a little gland. So you can see in there, you definitely don't want to be biting into that. So
what was that? The gland, was it?
That's just the gland, yeah. So same as like if you get sick and the gland in your neck sort of swells up, same deal. There's one of them.
So you can't eat that, mate?
No. You can. It's just
doesn't taste any good.
I probably wouldn't, but yeah.
I've never seen that part.
It's
obviously haven't seen this process, so.
I've worked in a couple of shops where they don't worry about taking that out.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's
Not at Georgie's Gourmet Meats.
No.
Only the best here.
Oh mate, do our best. Alright,
so you're just removing all the fat off this?
Yeah, basically you just don't want it to be too, like any of that stuff, it won't really render out enough. So you're just going to end up with that horrible fatty mouthfeel, like even, especially if you're pulling it too, like you'll just end up with that horrible,
a few little gristle,
mouthfeel.
A few little gristly bits in there,
And then either way, do you want the shank left on? Do you want it
off? Maybe take it off,
Take it off, sweet. So you just go around here.
Yep. So this is removing the shank?
Yeah, so normally we just do it with the saw, but you can just pop through in that little joint there.
You're going to show us some wizardry, mate. You don't need the saw.
Mine's playing up a little bit at the moment, so you just want to sort of mark in there.
Do it the old school way.
Yeah, and it just pops out that little tendon.
Yep.
Once you get through, literally just pop open like that.
Yep.
And yeah.
Oh, mate, you've just shown us another little good cut, that shank there. Obviously smoking these guys up, absolutely awesome. Or slow roasting, slow braising in the slow cooker. These lamb shanks are unbelievable.
And then yeah, you just got your nice little shoulder there. We'll
Yep.
just knock that little joint off on the saw just because otherwise it just sort of sits out there.
Yep.
And then yeah, we just string them up. So
String them up like this guy.
yeah.
So essentially, we're at the point where you take, obviously, that joint off,
Yep.
and that's where we've gotten to.
Yeah, so that's opposite
Beautiful.
side, but that's,
Yep.
yeah, so basically they sit, so neck,
Yep.
neck.
Yep.
And then, yeah, that's just where that little joint, that way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
awesome.
same side, neck, neck. And then, yeah, just take that joint off there. That's your little bone.
Yep.
All done.
Well, thanks for showing us that, George. That was
Easy
awesome.
done.
That was a quick little, insight into what the guys do when they break down a lamb into a shoulder. A beautiful eat, awesome to smoke. So yeah, thanks, George. I'm going to actually jump home and smoke this now and show you guys what I do with it. Thanks.
Cheers. Have a good day.
All right, Georgie, we've just broken down that lamb shoulder, mate. Tell us a bit about your business. How long have you guys been going for?
So we opened mid-August last year, so still fairly fresh, almost at the year now, which is crazy to think about. It's, yeah, gone real
And how's
fast.
it all going, mate? You're in a centre, obviously next to Coles. So how's it all going? Patronage. What sort of clients do you look after?
So we've got sort of all sorts around here. We're just back from Raby Bay, so it's quite a nice area.
Yep.
A lot of people here, they're really loyal. They love the local businesses. Sort of nobody really wants to buy meat from Coles anymore, which is nice. Yeah, they just want the quality. So we just do that, the best quality we can.
Yep.
And yeah, get the best we can.
Yep. And you've been butchering for how long, mate?
Wow, it'll be like 10 or 11 years now, I think. It's been a while, yeah. So getting there.
Okay, so made it back to my place with the lamb shoulder that Georgie's just cut for us down at his butcher shop. I'm going to smoke it on the Weber kettle, turn it into an awesome little lamb Yiros for lunch. Let's go. So just going to do half a chimney. Obviously we're smoking on this kettle, so I only do half a chimney. Obviously use one basket to smoke. All right, so half a chimney of charcoal. Just some Jiffy firelighters. Get it nice and hot. We're just going to let that burn away for 20 to 25 minutes until that charcoal's nice and white on top, and you can see the flames coming through. She's ready to go. So there's our lamb shoulder there. Beautifully done. And we're just going to rub it up with our on the lamb rub, Mafia on the lamb rub. Awesome little rub. Got a little bit of a citrus kick to it, so it gives you that sort of Mediterranean, North African sort of taste. So really, really good for Yiros. I love my Yiros. Give it a good dust. As you can see, it's got a bit of rosemary and a few other little things in there. That citrus, give it that good punch. And don't worry about, I'm coating this on, but this is going to break down and give us a good little bark, form a good little bark on top of this. You're going to get hints of that once you chew through into that nice tender lamb, nice tender fatty lamb. So there she is, rubbed up. Oop, missed a spot there. She's good to chuck on the barbecue. All right, so our basket, our chimney of charcoal's ready to go. All that charcoal on top's nice and hot. Flames are coming up through the top, so she's ready to put in the smoker. So grill on. Got the trapdoors over the top of the baskets. Obviously we're only using that basket we're smoking today. Put our chunk on there for the smoke. That's an oak chunk. All right, so we're just going to chuck that on there. All right, so we've got our oak chunk there. That's going to create the smoke. Obviously our charcoal is going to create the heat. It's going to roll on over the other side. So this is our indirect side here. This is where I'm going to place the pork shoulder. All right, we're going to get a nice good smoke on there. We're going to refill this basket every 30-40 minutes with 2 to 3 cold bits of charcoal, and she'll smoke away. All right, so there's our lamb shoulder. Chuck her on. All we need to do now is put the lid on. Now with this lid, I'm obviously going to, as I've spoken about before, the hot spot on this barbecue is where the vents are. All right, so it's going to draw all the heat out through this vent, okay, and all the smoke out through that vent. So I'm going to chuck that directly over our lamb shoulder. That's going to get a nice bit of smoke and heat on there. All right, 2 hours in, let's open her up. Oh yeah, starting to render down well. You can see that bone pull out of that shoulder at the end there. And the colour bark is going really, really well, forming really, really well. I'll just chuck a probe, give her a spritz and put her back on for an hour or so. She's cooking well, as you can see. We're looking for, you know, pulled lambs at 96, 97 degrees Celsius, so she's 2/3 of the way there. We're just going to let that bark form a little bit more. I'll give her a spritz now. All right, we'll chuck her back on for half an hour, and we might wrap her after that. All right, 2 hours 45. Yeah, look at that bark. You got all that bone pull there. She's looking real good. We're going to wrap her up. She'll only be an hour and a half off, I reckon. Ready to go. All right, let's take her off. Let's grab her off. Her color's looking really good. Fat's rendering down. Just starting to feel nice and soft. So, as I said before, she's not really far off. But have a look at that bark. Let's see on the lamb bark. Nice and barked up. Bit of texture on there. All right, let's wrap her up. All right, so you just want to be careful with wrapping up the lamb just because of the bones. So just careful on these edges, and if it penetrates the foil, just rewrap it. All right, because you want that foil to be nice and tight. All right, this quickens up the cook, keeps all that moisture in that foil. All right, doesn't look like I've penetrated with any of those bones, so she's good to go. Wrap her up nice and tight. All right, our lamb shoulder's just about ready. We're going to take her off and rest her off the kettle, but I just wanted to show you this awesome little, and I said I was making Yiros, so what would a Yiros be without a nice good garlic sauce, punchy garlic sauce? I've actually, the last few years, been making my garlic sauce and adding a little bit of the oath chip seasoning. All right, our oath chip seasoning has a really smoky sort of flavour to it. We wanted a chicken salt that we could run through our chips at the restaurant, but give it that smoky flavour and give it that mafia sort of flavour. So we come up with the oath, and I've been mixing that in with the Greek yogurt, minced garlic, bit of lemon, and a bit of olive oil, just your stock standard sort of garlic sauce, but the oath gives it that little bit of punch. So yeah, I'm going to show you how to make that quickly. It takes 5 minutes, and that's a nice little drizzle on top of that when you're eating your Yiros. It's absolutely beautiful. So yeah, I'll show you how to do that. So obviously I start with the yogurt, get that Greek yogurt out. Now it's only me eating today, so I'd use a bigger bowl if I was making this for more people, but just go, you know, that 3/4 of that tub of yogurt, that 240 gram tub, Greek yogurt. All right. Now I'm going to use minced garlic today. I know I should be using crushed garlic, it's a little bit better, but I'm just going to use minced garlic today, and I'm going to put like half a teaspoon in there. All right. And this, like any good sauce, you taste it as you go. If you like it with a little bit more garlicky, I love my garlic sauce. Like, you know, my missus can't kiss me for like 2 to 3 days after it because I love my garlic sauce so much. All right, so give that a nice little mix in. All right, it starts to discolor slightly with that garlic. And then we're just gonna cut this lemon in half. Give it a good squeeze. Good bit of lemon juice. These flavors are just absolute bangers working all together. That garlic, the nice creaminess of the Greek yogurt. And the saltiness of that lemon. All right, so mix it all in, and this is where I add the oath, and this gives it a nice looking color too. Sort of goes that tanny, sort of, you know, that pale orangey sort of tangerine color. All right, mix it all in.
give that a bit of a, awesome. Add a little bit more, and put as much salt as you want, but I just add a little bit more lemon. But you can see the color on that. It's the basis of it. I'm just gonna chuck a tiny bit of olive oil in there. Oh, that's just starting to look unbelievable. Doesn't like mixing with all those other ingredients, the olive oil, but have a look at that. Get away, fly. Have a look at that color. That's an awesome little garlic sauce, isn't our oath? So yeah, so have a look at that. Look at that color. Oath gives it that nice color. All right, I said tangerine before, but it's almost peachy in color. All right, and that's a banging little garlic sauce to go on top of your gyros or your kebab or whatever you're having. That Middle Eastern style of, you know, bread, meat, and salads. All right, so nice, easy one. We've got the Greek yogurt, we've got the crushed garlic. Definitely do crushed garlic if you've got a garlic crusher. Half a lemon juice, half a lemon worth of lemon juice, bit of olive oil, and a sprinkle of oath in there to just give it that smokiness and that color. All right, I reckon this is going to be ready, so I'm going to pick a part where there's all protein. You just got to watch the bone because it'll give you a false read. But what did I say? 96. It's upside down, but that's 97 degrees. You can see that. 97, ready to go. She feels nice and soft, like it's pulled away from the bones. So we're going to take that off and rest. She's good to go. All right, so she's been resting for a good hour. You want to give it at least an hour or two if you can. When you're resting any smoked meats, the longer the better. Like briskets at our restaurant, we rest overnight. So give it as long as you can. Really, really important part of the process, letting that meat relax again, that protein relax. You don't want to open it up and moisture spews everywhere because you haven't let it relax. I've wrapped this up like a bloody baby, haven't I? All right, so plenty of moisture. There you go. There's our full lamb shoulder. You can see that bone pull. Those bones are going to come out so easily. All right, absolutely gorgeous. All right, this guy's like very fragile. You'll be able to pull this bone out. I can feel him, he's falling apart of my hand. So I'll just pull that bone out. There we go. Nice clean bone. All right, get that knuckle out. There you go. And we just want to, there's a bit of a fat cap here, so you just want to remove that. And there's your pulled lamb. Like, look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful chunks of lamb. It just falls apart in my hand. Mix it all through that juice. So there you go. There's our lamb shoulder, guys. Absolutely banging. I promised you guys I was making a little bit of Yiros, so there's my little garlic sauce with the oath. Spread that on. A little bit of a cucumber and cherry tomato mix with some oregano on top. Just like those flavors. All right, and pick out the gnarliest bit of pulled lamb. Fuck, that's hot still. A little bit more. Okay guys, lamb cooked, just about to eat my Yiros. How good was that? Georgie cut that shoulder up for us this morning, show us how he did it. I'll bring it and brought it back home and smoked it on my kettle. And mate, have a look at that. Yiros perfection. That's exactly how I like it. Bit of lamb, a little bit of tomato and cucumber salsa, lemon juice, and my awesome little garlic sauce using the oath. All right, one thing left to do, and that's to taste it. Mm.